Well, for a long time now, Andy Ruiz has been stating that he wanted a Deontay Wilder fight. Actually, ever since he won the title. But Abel Sanchez, his former trainer, does not believe that. This is what Sanchez had to say. He said he doesn't want to fight Wilder. He'll be flat on his back and will be hurt. He also stated Tyson Fury is a special talent and Andy Ruiz is not yet, Sanchez told Fight Hub. Wilder can do the same thing Arreola did in dropping Andy Ruiz, but it will be 10 times harder and he'll be sleeping. Sanchez is hoping that Reynoso will continue to improve Ruiz and make him a top 10 heavyweight. That would be Eddie Reynoso, by the way. Sanchez also said Ruiz will have to train in the same exact manner as Reynoso's top student, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Everybody knows who Canelo is. But anyway, he also said, I hope he's going to continue the discipline with Eddie. If Eddie can get it out of him, I think he'll make him a better fighter, which I personally believe myself. Right now, he's still marginal in today's boxing and in athletics. Whether it's football, baseball, or boxing, you can't train for 2 months and then take 2 months off and go party, get fat, and go back and do it again, says Sanchez. That's been his MO, and that just can't be. He got to get right back in the gym just like Canelo does, which, I mean, I will say this real quick. Andy has been doing that. I mean, he looks phenomenal now if you haven't seen him. But he says every time you can see Canelo fight, he's right back in the gym the next week. That's the modern athlete. That's what the athlete has to do. If Andy chooses not to do that, then it's going to be the same Andy all the time. No improvement, no further development. He's not that hard to hit. And it wasn't hard to hit him in my gym. He got fast hands and great skills. Those two things are not going to make you a world champion again. He caught Joshua on an off night, and he had the best night that he could ever have, and he became a champion. Now, I must admit, I would have to agree with a lot of what Abel Sanchez said. And the reason why I would say I have to agree is because I do think Andy Ruiz is hittable. I do believe that. He does have extremely fast hands, but I do believe he's hittable. I think what he brings, what Eddie Reynoso brings to the table could help him out tremendously, because especially if he does the same regimen that he uses on Canelo, because he has his fighters use a lot of head movement. So Andy Ruiz won't be quite as hittable if he listens to Eddie Reynoso and does what it is that he asks him to do. Now, as far as what he said about him and Wilder, that's a little funny. And the reason why I say that, because both guys have new trainers. And new trainers, if you're not, I'll put it like this, the longer you have to work with that new trainer, the better off you are. But a lot of times when you see fighters, their first fight out with that new trainer, sometimes it can be a little iffy. You saw the same thing with Triple G, speaking of a former Abel Sanchez pupil or whatnot. Triple G, when he moved, I can't remember the guy who's training him now, but I believe they got 3 fights in now. And the first one, I think the guy named was Steve Rose or something Rose. And he got hit a lot. I mean, even though he stopped the guy in like the 4th or 5th round, something like that, he was getting hit with a lot of jabs and stuff that he probably shouldn't have been getting hit with. And I mean, the funny thing, everybody knew this was supposed to be a tune-up fight, but this Rose kid was just popping him with jab after jab and straight rights. Till Triple G hit him upside his head and he laid down. I mean, we kind of saw the same thing with Derevchenko. And me personally, I thought he beat Triple G, and honestly, I didn't think it was that close. He was putting hands on Triple G. And the funny thing is, the style that Triple G was supposed to be bringing to the table with this new trainer is more of a slick boxer type style, but he was getting hit a lot, and a lot with the jab and the straight right. And we kind of saw the same thing with Andy Ruiz in that Chris Arreola fight. He was getting hit a lot with the jab and the straight right. So I don't know, but that stuff tends to go away when you get used to the guy who's training you, when you implement their style, when it turns into, I don't have to think about this stuff. It's more acting and reacting instead of actually having to figure it out on the run and trying to, you know, think throughout the fight. So that's something that I do believe that'll get fixed the more Andy get used to having his new trainer. Now, there's been rumors of Andy Ruiz possibly facing a King Kong Ortiz or a Dillian White sometime in the near future, maybe his next fight. Me personally, I believe it's going to be King Kong Ortiz. I don't see Dillian White taking him on. Even though we are hearing rumors about that, until I actually see an actual fight announcement, I'm not going to believe it. Those two have been having words with each other since Ruiz has become the champion, and definitely after he lost the title. Dillian White made it his his personal point, his personal job to go out of the way to tease Andy Ruiz about how he lost that belt, basically about just going out and becoming a fat slob and not going into the fighting shape. But Dillian, you've done the same thing though. We've seen you come to the ring with the extra 10 to 20 pounds easily several times. So come on now, pot can't call the kettle black. But hopefully we'll see the Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz or King Kong Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz sometime maybe late this summer or at the beginning of the fall. And that's pretty much all I got this here Bustin' Boxing's own Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know, do you agree with Abel Sanchez with Deontay Wilder had knocked Andy Ruiz out? Is Andy Ruiz, very hittable? I say yeah, especially before Eddie Reynoso, but even with Reynoso in the corner, Chris Arreola hit him at will. And the only reason why he stopped hitting him was because he popped him in the shoulder and knocked his shoulder off the hinges. And Chris Arreola basically became a one-arm fighter for like the bottom half of that fight. So, but that's pretty much all I got this here Bustin' Boxing's own Fight Doctor. I am out.